Well, welcome back to another episode. City have finally completed football. They've won the FA Cup. They won the Premier League. They won the Champions League. They won the Super Cup. They won the Club World Cup. But the one thing that has eluded them for like 5 years is scoring a goal and winning at Tottenham and away. But this weekend, my friends, we have scored a goal and won at Tottenham away, sending us into the fifth round of the FA Cup. And we've thought, what better way to celebrate it than with our very good friends, the Hollywood Kippax, Alex and Will. Welcome back to the show.
You broke the curse,
Yeah.
dude. You broke
Hell
the
yeah.
curse.
You guys
We
were a
did
part
it.
of it. And your brother Cameron's going to be on the 18th, and I'm going to talk mad shit. I
Oh,
cannot
yeah.
wait.
Oh man, Monday
And
tomorrow.
Cameron, I hope you're the first one that hears this episode because I'm
Oh,
going to talk mad shit.
and we know you
Yeah.
will.
Yeah. I mean, Karen was giving it pretty large on our podcast, but we're gonna give it right back to him tomorrow night. So, Karen, we're coming for you on this. Yeah, I mean, two exciting games in the last month for City. You know what I mean? It's fun
hmm
being a City fan. You know what I mean?
Really
Yeah.
is.
It's not we're not a boring team to watch. We
No,
have
whoever said
great.
city or boring is wrong.
Yeah.
It's it's been good. It's been good to being a City fan. And yeah, so excited to be back. And talk about this game and amongst other things. Sorry to couldn't see Greg again. Shout out Greg.
Yeah. Shut up,
Uh,
Greg.
but it's good to be back.
Yeah. We love the boys, dog. Bit of banter, baby. Let's go.
Absolutely. Well, we'll dive
Hell
right
yeah.
into it. Just to catch up, how have you guys been?
Yeah. So since we were last on the podcast, I believe that was August, September of last year. We actually hit two important milestones. So the first milestone was that we have over 1,000 followers on Instagram.
Fuck yeah, bro. Let's go.
And then the second milestone was that we're actually the number one United States Man City podcast on Instagram.
Let's
And
go.
Yo.
that's to not step over any other United States Man City podcast, but in terms of following, we now became the largest on Instagram. And we were talking to you guys, and back in that time period, we were really just doing our episode, recording it, and then posting like a still image to Instagram. But
Mhm.
then, like, I remember like a little bit after we started posting maybe a clip of the of our Zoom meeting onto there. But
Yeah.
then it just evolved to where it's at now, and we've been getting followers every day. People are vibing with our reels, the content from the podcast, the video memes, also our recent kind of ongoing series now of the adventures of FA Cup Man. So
Yeah, that shit's hilarious.
yeah, and so like ever since we started doing video content, the podcast has really been taking off. But we want to also come on and say that you guys were supporting us in the beginning, so we
Yes,
appreciate your
sir.
guys' support,
Yep.
and we appreciate you guys reposting the things that we share, and as much as, and then when you guys request us, we'll reshare it. But it's just good having kind of friendly relations with other podcasts and stuff, and we appreciate all your guys' support of it. But yeah, those are the two big things. How about you guys?
Steady growth on our end as well. Our Instagram that's kind of where we're trying to push our content as well. He's my guy that handles all that stuff. So
Nice.
he's the best
man,
at that.
I'm trying. I'm trying as much as I can. I can't get
Yeah,
to
yeah,
Alex
yeah.
level to that FA Cup, man. Like, dude, that shit was fucking funny. Because
Oh.
you and I were both on that lit stream shout out to Shades of Blue that was
Oh,
on
that's
that.
right.
And man, that was in the background, because you know how they bring us in at the end and when they're up and all that, and man, that shit was fun.
Yeah.
That's a hit, man.
So yeah, we've just been kind of steady. We're kind of moving forward with our goal is to try and have like a guest on once a month. We've got some really exciting ones coming up. Obviously, I mentioned your brother's going to be on in February. I think in March, remind me, George, we've got a Newcastle podcast coming on who's all the way from the UK. We got to do stuff with the
Nice.
Noisy Neighbors. We had Crunk from Shades of Blue on.
That's right.
George decided to have some United fans on without me. Naturally, they talked mad shit about FFP, and I wasn't there to defend the
course.
club, but
Of course.
it is what it is. But yeah, we've been having a lot of guests. That's what we're really enjoying, having guests on and just kind of building things to talk football fans talk about football with. And you guys have been a part of that Shades of Blue have been a part of that. It's just been an awesome thing in the city community, especially reaching out and being a part of the show.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, dude. Like what we're trying to do is, for me, I like to watch all the games too. Like I said before, like watching City, it's hard not to like them.
Yeah.
But yeah, we do have some guests coming in. We have like your brother's gonna be jumping on with us. He's gonna vibe with us next month, and then Mark, like what Patrick said, we have Talk of the Tune from Talk. Yeah,
Talk of the Tune. Talk of the
Tune from they're a Newcastle podcast from the UK. His actual name is Will as well. So shout out Will if you're listening. And then
nice.
we have the Chels Premier Pod, and they're from one guy's from I believe Stanford, another guy's from Houston. So we're getting them lined up for I think we're gonna try and shoot for the end of February. So we're trying to just vibing, dude. I like to vibe and building our empire and just vibing, dude. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's fun.
It's pretty cool when you see somebody else acknowledge your podcast. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Especially when the goal is that it's pretty much the love for soccer.
Yeah, straight
So
up.
yeah, and then when we all come together, and you know what I mean, that's the beautiful thing about working with my buddy here, Alex. We love Manchester City so much that no idea fed to each other is a bad idea. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
for you to guys get guests and fucking vibe out and just talk about soccer is the best, dude. So I love that you guys are fucking killing it like that, dude. And I mean, come on, dude, we fucking love you guys. You guys know that shit.
Hell
So
yeah.
you know
Yeah.
what I
Dope,
mean?
yeah.
You know what I mean? You guys were one of the first people to believe in us, and that was the shit, dude. So
Hey, and just to say on that too, Hollywood Kippax, you guys were the first ones too. So
Yeah, you guys were the first guests. That's true.
You broke it.
We were?
We broke it there.
Yeah, you
were
guys were the first
one.
guests. That's actually to date, that podcast we did, that is our longest episode we've ever done. Just because I
oh
remember talking to
shit.
George afterwards. I was like, that was fun as shit. We need to get
Yeah.
these guys back on.
fucking dope. So we need to start doing that more.
It was so fun.
And
You
not
know,
to
but-
mention, I was so jealous when you, George, hanged out with Alex at the bar.
Hey,
I couldn't make it, dude.
I was just about to tell you this. Like, you're fucking working. Like, we don't want to do that. When George's in town, you come out and come.
We know what you
Yeah,
do.
yeah,
You
yeah.
can just drive to where they're at. They won't know.
But yeah, I mean, you guys hung out, and then before the podcast started, me and Patrick were talking about a concert we're gonna meet up. So
Yeah, we go
you know,
when we were young. So you all can, do you guys,
could-
George, you can go
go
to
to-
California that weekend and hang out with Alex. Me and Will will do our thing.
Go to
fucking
Downey
John Martin
Brewing
will, right,
Company.
Alex?
Yeah, we'll go on and we'll have a joint podcast.
there you go.
Like we did from the bar. And
Hey,
That was awesome.
I'm actually
Yeah.
gonna be in town probably like in March.
Oh, nice. Okay,
well
there
then
you go.
hit me up next
we'll hit
time.
you up.
I'll be
Yeah,
there
'cause-
for sure that time,
Yeah,
dude.
because the kids are going on spring break, dude. So I get to pawn them up with mom and dad, dude.
There you
Hell
go.
yeah.
There you
So,
go.
Gotta love
But
it.
yeah,
for the
man.
week, so,
Awesome.
yeah, that'd be cool, man.
Well, let's dive into the weekend of games. Boys, just to jump right into it, besides, we'll get into the Tottenham game, but how about the last couple of matches for City? Here's the question I'll start this discussion off with. Do you think
Mhm.
Man City is turning the corner and is now going to go on our usual post-New Year winning form?
The light at the end of the tunnel is shining very brightly, but we're not out of the tunnel. We're not out of the woods yet.
Agreed.
Because as you saw from the last two games, let's take the Newcastle game first. So the Newcastle game, the first half looked very rough. We weren't really
Mhm.
creating any chances. City were flat foot. Newcastle looked very aggressive. There are some unfortunate things that happened, like Ederson getting injured and whatnot. And then we put on KDB in the second half as like we need you out there now. And he immediately turned it around and propelled us to victory. That was a
Yes.
great instant KDB effect that he had on the squad. And I think we'll be looking back on that game, and that game saved our title challenge, really.
100%.
Although I do see some of the new developments with like Liverpool, Klopp leaving, and even some rumors around Arteta, which is kind of getting things interesting, which don't bode well for both of those clubs. But yeah, so that game I think is going to be really important looking back in hindsight. Now looking at the Spurs game, I thought we came out pretty good in the first half. We were dictating the tempo. We were meeting Spurs intensity, like pound for pound. But I did think towards the end of the first half and the beginning of the second half, Spurs looked looked more aggressive and they were more attacking, more threatening. And then I texted the group chat like we need to put KDB on now. Like we're
Yep.
kind of in the same situation like we were with Newcastle. We need him on now, and they put him on 65th minute. He didn't contribute to the goal. Well, no, he actually did. He kicked the free kick. So once again, KDB.
He had a clear cut opportunity as well.
Yeah, opportunity. He did kick the corner. Vicario pats it down, and Ake's just right there to foot punch the ball into the net, and then we get the goal, and then we get the win at Tottenham away. So as we can say right now, double treble is on. So
dropping it big, coming in swinging.
Yeah. So, but yeah, like those last two games have just been enthralling to watch. We had the good fortune of watching having the live stream for the Newcastle match, which was cool. And then this one, unfortunately, is during the week at noon. So, we're all working and whatnot. But I was watching it and like, just, it was absolute scene. So it's fun being a City fan. What can I say? So, I said my piece, but what do you guys think?
I think there's a couple of key moments, specifically the Newcastle match, and I'll go back to that. And the reason I'll go back to that is actually I'll go all the way back to Huddersfield where we saw KDB play. Because I'm be honest, man, I was like a kid in a candy store watching him come back. I didn't really even care like about the result or anything like that. And I was sort of in the camp of, yeah, KDB's good, but he's had this long injury, and is he really that good that he can turn everything around? Turns out he actually is. So you see him come back and you get giddy, you get to watch him for the Huddersfield match and do what he does, get in a couple good positions, puts in a beautiful floated ball, saw the KDB Doku link up that we've been wanting to see. And then we come to the Newcastle match where I agree, bozo moment after bozo moment defensively, those problems still persist. I think if we can tighten those problems up, we've got a good shot of winning. I'm not fully convinced we'll go on to do it, especially with the Klopp thing. I think that might drive Liverpool. It makes it more difficult for us.
Yeah.
But that Newcastle game is like, if we go on and win the Premier League again this year, that's going to be the moment we look back with like, yeah, KDB came back. And it's just, it's a fairy tale. He took that game by the balls, scores a goal, puts in an assist for Bob, which, can we talk about Oscar Bob? That was the moment of like, welcome to the first team. The kid, how lucky are we that we've seen Rico Lewis and Oscar Bob now go through the same treatment in like a 6-month period where they just slot right in. They have the focus and the energy and the aggression that we want from a youth player. Rough, sure, didn't do too well against Spurs, but he's still young. And he comes in and he scores a goal like that in one of the hardest places to play. I thought it was just such a special game to watch that I still go back, and that ball that KDB plays is ridiculous.
No, dude, I know, like, when we see United fans and United, when they win, they act like it's a fucking goddamn final that they just won.
Yeah, did you
This
see their
was,
result today?
I did not. They lost again, right? 3-2 or
No,
something?
they
They
ended
beat
up
Newport
winning.
County
No, they
4-2.
were.
Yeah, but
Oh,
they
wow.
beat Newport County and allowed them to tie it up after like 60 minutes of play when they were leading. Playing
Oh,
their
okay.
strongest 11, by the way.
Really? Well, like I'm saying, when they win the match, they celebrate like it's a goddamn final. This is what that match felt for me against Newcastle, especially because we saw our favorite fucking midfielder come back and actually play a couple of more minutes than just 20 or 50. He played a whole 30 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
That was fucking beautiful. Uh, Oscar Bob, like you mentioned, Oscar Bob and Rico Lewis, and we had Cole Palmer, but he left and he joined
damn right.
George's. He joined George's team, and he's fucking killing it. But that kind of makes you forget that, hey, that used to be fucking Phil Foden, and Phil Foden has grown up to be a fucking machine for the fucking starting 11 now. That he's a fully grown man,
Mm-hmm.
but you know what I mean. But he was there along with these guys too. You know what I mean. And now we're getting to see this these performances of Oscar Bob. Come on, dude, he's done it more than once. This was
He's legendary.
yeah, dude. You know what I mean. And come on, our guy Rico Lewis. We haven't seen him much lately, but we know the quality is there.
Yeah.
You know what I
And
mean?
that's okay. I'm okay
Yeah.
managing that, especially Rico. He's 19 years old. Manage his
Mhm.
minutes. Like, keep him hungry, keep him doing his thing, let him develop the way Phil Foden did. And absolutely, it's funny you mentioned Phil Foden becoming a man, because one of the two things that stood out when KDB came on for that Newcastle game is I kind of have my issues with Kyle Walker being captain. I don't think he's necessarily the best choice to be
Okay.
captain, especially
Okay.
with the performances that we've seen. I know he's got personal issues and all of that, but besides that, like, seeing KDB step on that pitch, I ended up tweeting. I was like, it's really clear to see, like, Kyle Walker may be captain, but it's very clear to see who the leaders in this team are, and that's
Yeah.
KDB and Kev. He's just got this. He scores that goal to tie it up, and then he's immediately pointing to his teammates like, "Yeah, that's great. We're celebrating with focus. We can win this game."
Yep.
And of course, he goes on and wins it. And Phil Foden did an interview for City where he talked about how he sees himself as like the one that can foster this youth talent that comes in, like Bob and Lewis, to be like,
Mhm.
"Hey, man, I did it. Stay with it, and you can be successful like me."
Yeah. And the quality is there, fool. The quality is there, especially for. I hate that people are like Oscar Bob. Who the fuck is that? What kind of name is that? You know what I mean? Uh, the last time
OB,
we,
dude.
yeah,
Legendary. That's
the
what his
last
name is.
the last time we met up, we had a friend of ours. His name is Jason, and that was his first Manchester City, um, Manchester City match to watch, because he's like, hey, you know what? I'm really into MLS, but I watch your podcast and everything, and I want to get into the EPL.
Hell yeah.
And he was like, how do I get adopted by you guys? He literally said that, and I was like,
You gotta
bro,
baptize him, dude.
yeah,
You just put a blue shirt on. You're one of us now.
yeah. But the thing is, he told me it's because my friend is trying to make me a Liverpool fan. And I go, I just can't let that happen, brother. I go, tomorrow we're podcasting. You bring your ass over here, and we're gonna tell you, we're gonna show you what's up. You know, and we woke him up, right, Alex? We woke his
Yeah.
ass up, and we told him to come. I go, if you don't come, dude, just be a Liverpool fan. Don't forget about us. You know, like, just do your thing. You know, if you really want to be dedicated to this team, pull up. And he did, dude. And we were telling him about KDB. We were telling him about Phil Foden. He was like, I don't know anything about any of these teams, but if you say this is how it goes, I go, wait. There's this kid named Oscar Bob. He's like, what the fuck, Oscar Bob? That's a fucking funny ass name, bro. KDB and Oscar Bob showed him what we were talking about, all that hype,
It was
and
magic.
he was like, bro, I see why you guys love this shit so much. And I was like, bro, if you continue coming, you're gonna enjoy the fruits of what is Manchester City, especially now. We just want to trouble, baby. You know, and we have to explain all that stuff, but we're so happy that we can be a podcast for new guys and the people that have been in it. You know what I mean? And Patrick, dog, we respect you because your Man City knowledge is there. And Oscar, I mean Oscar, what the fuck? I
George.
know you, I
George's
know you,
name Oscar
George.
now.
I know you, George. You'll come around, baby. I know you will.
Yeah.
Slowly.
I
There's
mean,
so many podcasts you can go on where it's like, yeah, City's like, it's just so great, until eventually it's like, you know what? I was never a Chelsea fan. I'm actually a City fan. I don't know what you're talking about.
no, it's funny because when we met in person, he said I'm a City fan, but I clipped it so that like, I'm a City fan, and then we did
I remember.
the Joe Rogan
The
thing,
Joe
and
Rogan
that
one.
and that was that was one of our first memes that went like huge,
That's
and
awesome.
it was funny because I clipped it at a perfect time, and like yeah, and then he goes, then he followed me on the lit stream, and he's like, oh yeah, but like his huge announcement was I'm basically the same, like City and Chelsea, like I'm equally a fan of the both clubs, and I'm like that's a very American thing to be,
Yeah.
but because you could like in NFL you could support like two teams, but like I don't know, I guess we're making progress. I mean, if we're at like that stage where it's like City and Chelsea are like
We were
equal,
here back in August. We're
yeah.
here now.
Oh, me and
By
Pat
the
was
end
on
of the
that,
year,
dude.
we'll be here.
It's
Yeah,
bubbling. It's bubbling.
Yeah.
yeah, but
The offer
but
still
like
stands.
so talking about that Spurs that City Spurs FA Cup game. So
Yes.
like what I thought about Spurs. I mean, Spurs are a very intense team. They're a very tricky team for City. They just been the thorn in the underside of City for such a long time. and they were proving that. And there was a point when I felt like the momentum was changing back and forth, and it looked like in the beginning of the second half that the momentum was swinging towards Spurs. And we were just texting the group chat, and like at one point I'm like, oh my god, I think Spurs goal now is to just play this to a replay, because
They don't want to score.
there was just the one else to score. They want, like, they knew that, like, okay, we might not be able to win this game, but let's just keep them from not scoring.
Yeah.
I felt that too
Keep,
when you texted me, dude.
yeah, and but then it's like, we need KDB on now, and so then he comes on the 65th minute, and then we get that, it's like with like what, like less than 10 minutes left in the game. It's like, oh my god, I was just really going to go to a replay, and just like how a replay will affect City's schedule, because in fact, like, we're not playing a lot of football this month. We didn't play a lot of football this month, but next month we are playing a lot of football. So if you have to throw in an FA Cup replay at some point, like, it's just going to make our schedule even more congested. So, but we got that goal, and like, one thing to also mention is how how Spurs, like, VAR for them is their 12th man.
It really
Yeah.
You know
is.
what I mean?
It
Like
really is.
the Oscar Bob goal, you can make an argument Van de Ven played Oscar Bob
Yeah,
on.
he did.
You know what I mean? And I was talking to Crump from Shades of Blue, and he pointed this out. Look at Oscar Bob's shoe color; it was orange, and it matches with the line that tells them the VAR refs that it's off. So his foot was like
Oh,
barely on the line, right? But from the angle of the VAR ref, it looked like he was off. Like his foot was off. Like he was slightly
fuck.
off.
That's a good point.
Yeah, it's like an optical illusion. But you can also make the argument from certain angles that that Mickey Van de Ven, Spurs center back, played him on. And in my opinion, even from that angle, it looked like he was on. So, once again, how VAR really benefits Spurs. You know what I mean? And that's just the one team. Like, I mean, we can all put out instances where VAR helped your team, right?
Oh, yeah.
Across any Premier League team, right?
Yeah.
But Spurs in my opinion, have been especially helped by VAR, and
Yep.
we have history of it. And now in this game, I was like, oh my god, that goal was played off. Okay, you know what I mean? That would have been a different mood of the game if the Bob goal counted.
Because it's
But
so early on too.
yeah, and then you get the Ake goal, and then there was like kind of like the, you're holding your breath as they were doing the VAR check, right? But it was the right call. It was not a foul, and Spurs fans were pointing to the Akanji incident, like where he had his hand on the goalkeeper and whatnot. That was a similar incident. It's like, no foul on that, and we got the goal. And but just kind of like that little VAR check at the end really had to make things a little bit more more tense. But but we got the goal and we got the win, and we're on to the next round.
Dude, what a fucking moment to take away from Oscar Bob. Especially scoring the fucking goal against Newcastle to win the game
And then to
from a
start
KDB
Spurs
and
like that.
assist,
Yeah.
and to start the Spurs and fucking be the first one to score in that fucking stadium.
Should
What
have
a
been him for
moment
sure.
to take that away from him, dude. You know what I mean?
I understand like that VAR needs to be there. Like it's not going to go away, so you might as well accept it. Is I guess what I mean by
Yeah.
that. But my problem with it, and I get it, rule is a rule is a rule, but it really is like, if, in my opinion, if you have to zoom in to where the fucking image on my TV gets super pixelated to make this VAR call,
Yes.
that's not a clear. Like, we were promised that it was going to be a clear and obvious error, not re-referee games. If you have to zoom in that close, I'm sorry. And I think we had the same conversation, either an episode where it was just us, or you guys might have been on as well. Don't know.
Uh-huh.
But we had the same conversation. I feel like I'm having the same conversation about VAR, where
Yeah.
if you're zooming in that much, is it really a clear and obvious error? No human is going to be able to zoom in that much. So if it's that tight, I know it sucks. And I know that, yeah, that ends possibly your FA Cup run. But that's not how VAR should be used. It should be used in a clear and obvious situation,
And
not where we're zooming in to the pixel level.
Well, I feel like, go ahead, Will.
I've had arguments with not arguments between me and Alex, but arguments about VAR where it's like, if there's a call, show us the goddamn replay all the time, every single fucking time, and show us that goddamn line. You know what I mean? There's times where they just call it and they won't even show the replay, and I'm
Yeah.
like, wait a second, show the line like you guys always do. Like, and there'll be times where VAR is just quick like that. When it takes forever like that, I'm gonna say it, man. Like that fucking mistake between his foot and the other dude. What if AI? What if AI is involved in all these decisions in the VAR now?
Well, so the funny thing about that is I honestly think they should go to an AI model like they use in the World Cup. They use that in the Champions League, and
Yeah.
it's a quick process. It's a simple yes or no, and it's a simple graphic on screen that everybody can understand.
Yeah.
It removes all the confusion. And so for whatever reason the Premier League decided not to go that route to
Hmm.
protect their refs further. So I think that they absolutely next season need to go to that sort of semi-automated model that looks at it because it's so clean, it's so quick, and it doesn't disrupt the game.
Hey, how about these matches in the FA Cup without VAR? How fucking nice are those games?
Oh, it's great, isn't it? Because it's so
Right?
quick. There's like most of the time the ref gets it pretty damn right, and the ref
Yeah.
can't lean on VAR, so
Yeah,
it feels
exactly.
like they actually know what they're doing.
Oh man, I've been noticing the difference, and I'm like, dude, this VAR shit, it's just helping out motherfuckers trying to make it to that first down. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
pretty
it's
much.
just, yeah, I don't know, but yeah, what were you saying, Alex?
Well, I just feel like also the VAR checks out to every goal is kind of just like, oh my god, like every time it's like, is this goal? Does the goal check all the boxes? Does it like fit in this nice little thing? Is the goal goaling? Is
You
like
can't
every
have,
time the VAR, right?
You
And
can't
it's
have
just
that in a
like,
contact sport. There's going to be discrepancies.
yeah,
Yeah,
and it's just like, okay, like, but it's like after every goal, and it's like, oh, what now? How's this? Is it did who's it sneeze in the corner, and then, oh, no goal now? It's like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just like, come on, man. Like, it's just let soccer be soccer. Like, play, like, if it scored a goal, and I mean, if it's not an obvious offsides call, you know what I mean? Like, or it's like, I don't know, just play. It's just I don't know, trust your refs and take the call. But like, but when it feels like it's just always a check after every goal, just to make sure that it fits within this nice little box, it just feels like, just it leaves you in suspense of like what can happen. That's why you get all these like super scandalous, like, Twitter talk, you know what I mean, after games where it's just like match fixing and this and that,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like, so and it seems like the Premier League is really the only league that's having this problem. 'Cause I don't see this problem across the board as frequently as the Premier League. So definitely the Premier League needs to sort their shit out. That's you know what I mean? So
You heard it
but
here
yeah.
first. Premier League, call Alex Millage.
you
You
heard
want
it
Yeah.
here.
advice?
Do you want me to meme you? That's all I should say. You know what I mean?
yeah, exactly.
We'll just turn you into a meme.
This guy is the meme wizard right now, so easy up, guys.
Well, I want to bring Georgia into the Spurs match about FA Cup because
Yeah,
we
dude.
haven't let him speak
I was
yet.
waiting for.
I
I was
also
waiting.
want you to talk about Chelsea because to be fair,
With that,
you had a tough draw against Villa and you guys
I was
brought
waiting
it
for
to
my
a
turn,
replay.
dude. I'm just vibing to you guys, dude. You know,
Yeah.
like what you said about like these VAR stuff. You know, Patrick. You know, we've talked about this multiple times.
Oh, yeah.
And it's only the matter of
Boring
time
at this point.
yeah, until it's going to be the matter of time until they stop doing that, and they're going to use those. When they do the horse races and that dude and that little rabbit's going around, they're going to make that thing just go back and
Side to
forth,
side.
side to
Yeah.
side.
Back and forth.
It's only going to be the
Side
matter
to
of time until
side.
they start doing that. But I can't say much about VAR because that kind of saved us with Aston Villa on the FA Cup with a handball. Kind of saved us.
Oh,
Hey,
you did, didn't
but how
you?
about that boy Cole Palmer? You're welcome.
You're welcome.
But
You're
Palmer,
welcome.
Yeah, you're
yeah,
welcome,
dude,
dog.
yeah.
Even though it's mostly penalties, but whatever.
Hey, it's goals and it's a dub. We're advancing. But yeah, that Villa game we should have got that dub. But I gotta admit, dude, Martinez had a fantastic game, making those saves that kept him in it. So it is what it is on that. So I believe we got them coming up. I believe I can't remember when we play. Kind of shooting a blank right now. I think it's the 7th. I think it is. It's like a
but
Wednesday or Thursday game.
Chelsea's shaping up now. I mean, a
They
little
are.
late in the season, but they're shaping up.
They're shaping up, so I'm happy about it. I don't know if they're just on this high for right now of how it's going, but we're sitting at 9th or I think 9th right now, so it's getting there. So we got the Premier League coming up. We got a tough one coming up. We got Liverpool, so it's gonna be.
You got to play them twice too.
And we got to play them twice.
Holy shit! I didn't think about that. That's
They have them
crazy.
in the Carabao Cup
The
final,
Carabao Cup.
I do think generally you have an opportunity to win that. You really do.
Yes.
We
Yeah.
do, but I haven't heard any news about Salah.
Mo Salah.
He's out for the next 3 weeks, buddy.
So he is out for the 3 weeks. I thought it was
Um,
just a fucking rumor or something. But
Yeah, he's out for the next
he
3 weeks.
may or may not be back for the final.
Yeah.
well, that's good news though. So
Yeah.
we'll take that. But yeah, man, Chelsea they've been up and down, but they have been performing. Again, they just kind of got this. They had the piggyback against Middlesbrough. When we beat them 6-1, got the ass whooping. So that was a fluke on the other game. So I'm not gonna go to that one. But yeah, man, it's going. So we'll see. We just got a couple tough matches coming up. So I don't know, man, but we'll see. It's just Martinez had a fantastic game.
It'll be interesting to see if Cole Palmer succeeds against Liverpool, because I honestly think the biggest reason he's succeeding the way he is at Chelsea is because he has space now. He would not get the kind of space he has playing for City.
Everybody's giving him the ball, dude.
That
Everybody.
and yeah, like I said, people play differently against Chelsea than they do against City.
But if Palmer was still with City, would you guys be playing him right now?
No, that's the other thing. Like he would not get in, because I definitely agree with his playing time, but Pep allegedly promised him playing time, but he ended up going. He may have started over Bob, but Bob was there at the right place, right time. And I mean, honestly, the last couple of games, Bob's been our best winger.
Yeah.
He's been performing better than Doku. Doku's had some weird performances following his injury.
So are we gonna be seeing some people arguing about playing time? Do you think from on the City side, since you guys have all fucking stacked players?
Okay,
that's a lie. That's a lie, and we don't have a deep squad. We don't have a stacked squad. We have players that can play in multiple positions.
We have players that love to play and share those positions, and now with the whole band back, it's gonna be some
close.
It's gonna be some who's gonna go who, because we have new players like Neves, who hasn't played. We have KDB back. So that
Neves?
takes Nunez.
Oh, got it.
Yeah, Nunez. We have fucking goddamn Julian Alvarez playing, and he's been starting, and now we have our boy Haaland back. You know what I mean?
Supposed to be back for
Doku,
Burnley.
we have Jackie and fucking Doku. You know what I mean? It's like Pep. It's gonna come to that Pep time where he's gonna decide, fuck, I gotta do this, I gotta do that. He's gonna give us some weird shit. This is that time of the year that he does that bullshit. You know what I mean?
And then Champions coming in too.
And then the Champions League
how that's going to go. Because I think, like you mentioned too, like Rico not playing as much in the Premier League. I think we do see a lot with him.
In the Champions League. That's a good point.
On Champions League.
Yeah.
See how I caught myself on that. So
I mean, we're
on that one.
We're going to be soon enough in the thick of it in February with different cup competitions. So everyone will be getting this amount of playing time. But I think with any player that wants to join City, I mean, you have to be be that caliber, right? But you also have to make that kind of that bargain where it's like, well, I'm not going to be getting as much playing time at a different club where I'd be starting all the time. But but I'm gonna exchange that to win titles. You know what I mean? So, and if you complain about that at any point, you get bounced out of the squad. See Cancelo for the example. You know what I mean? With Calvin Phillips, a different situation.
Like Riyad Mahrez,
100%
like Riyad Mahrez.
Mahrez, yeah, maybe.
Mahrez is different too. If that Saudi contract doesn't come in, I do think he still stays. But that was just an obscene amount of money for him to go. Like it was an offer he couldn't refuse.
And also the fact that I feel like a lot of players, after they win the treble, they see it as a job well done. And him being an Arab player and going to the Middle East, back to the Middle East, I think it's just like maybe it's feeling comfortable. You know what I mean?
He's
like
Algerian. I don't know.
Well, yeah.
The Arab world.
Yes,
I guess you say. Yeah, you know what I mean? So
affiliated.
Yeah. So, just that was his rationale for it. But like the one player I do see where if you complain about your playing time, you get bounced is Cancelo for sure. And you can see how he's been struggling from, Bayern to Barcelona now. And it's just like, hasn't really worked out for him.
Sucks. It's not always greener on the other side, is it, asshole?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So, what I was gonna also, what about Chelsea? You guys played Liverpool at midweek at Anfield. Yeah, you guys are getting pumped. Um,
I don't see you winning that game. Here's the thing with Chelsea, like Chelsea's so hit and miss. Like you're gonna have like
4-0.
you think it's 4?
Well,
Yeah,
I
I
don't
think
know.
it's
They don't
4.
have Salah, so
Well,
I
no,
can't
you
see it
just-
a 4.
or
Zabuz's
Alexander Arnold. Trent Alexander Arnold is out
Yeah,
for
without TA
Gakpo.
or I don't see him pumping 4 past him.
Gagpo.
Because here's the thing, Chelsea has this weird thing against top 6 clubs where they tend to perform better than they should.
And
Well,
especially
Better
at
than
home.
results.
You know what? And I'll say this: City have not played well against the top 6 this year.
That's the biggest problem with our season this year is we put ourselves in a situation, and this is let's table that for a second because I want to keep talking about this Liverpool game coming up
Yeah.
because that's another question I want to ask is like, can we go on and do it? I have some thoughts on it, but George, back to you.
Yes.
I agree with Alex. I don't think it's going to be 4-0, but I can't see you getting out at Anfield with a win. If you do, it's a great result for City. 2, it's like I just can't see it. That's a tough place to go.
And it's a bettor's nightmare.
I I think that honestly we are not going to play our best because we want to get the Carabao Cup.
That's like weeks away, though, bro.
Yeah, it's a whole month away, less than about more or less.
It's like 3
but
weeks following that game.
Is it 3 weeks?
but looking at your schedule, I'm just gonna do a quick one. So
I'm sorry, I was fucking thinking of the FA Cup. My bad.
yeah. Then after that, on the 4th, you have Chelsea versus Wolves at
The
home.
Wolves, yep.
Then you have the
Okay.
replay.
That'll be a win. The Wolves game, the FA Cup replay. I don't see that. Oh, I see you guys losing that one. Crystal Palace versus Chelsea. That's at Selhurst Park. I see you guys losing that one as well. And then you guys play. Then you guys play us on the 17th at home. Yeah, we're pumping you.
Punch back for that.
So hard.
Yeah, and we'll have you on the podcast here, George, for that.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be a great one.
Kev will be back, and if you play with that high line and give us space behind, like we're gonna eat you apart, eat you alive.
Yeah,
that'd be a fun one, dude.
Yes.
No.
That's the 17th. That's okay.
You know what I mean? So,
and
I
then
don't know though. Do you think they're gonna beat Wolves? Wolves are an aggressive team.
yes, they are, dude. That's I'm not so much. That's gonna be a tie, I bet.
I see
That's
a
gonna
draw
be a
from
good
that.
one.
Yeah,
Yeah, me too.
Chelsea fans are gonna be pissed about that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't see it being a good month for Chelsea. And yeah. But the Chelsea, I was gonna want to circle back to the title challenge. You want to have that conversation now, because Liverpool just lost Klopp. But I think we mentioned this at the beginning of the podcast, and we were saying that how Klopp declaring that it's going to be his last season at Liverpool will galvanize the squad. I think it'll have the opposite effect. I think it might send them a little bit into an uneasiness for what the future. I mean, some players might be like, "Oh, let's do it for Klopp." Like there might be that attitude, but like also like then I think there's also an uneasiness behind it where it's like, well, what comes next after Klopp?
I don't think it matters though because it's like let's go win it for Klopp. That whole stadium and city's going to be behind him to like go out on a high. So that's why I think like
especially being in
what
first
comes
place.
next doesn't matter because it doesn't matter for the players now. They'll make that decision in the summertime.
That's true, but I mean, when I was kind of thinking about it, I was like, well, there's a a part of it that galvanizes, but also a part of it that's like, well, that just throws a little bit uneasiness for the future. But like, I mean, then again, I'm not playing in the Liverpool starting 11, so I'm sure, as all players say, they're just taking it game by game, and they're not really thinking about the future and whatnot. But I don't know, just that was just my read of that situation. But even today, I was hearing some rumors that Arteta is like his job is kind of under fire now, under question. So
Maybe.
I'm not sure if you saw that.
He's had enough time and spent enough money. And like Xavi is leaving Barcelona at the end of the season. So it's what the Spanish media always does. Once Xavi announced that he was leaving at the end of the season because he's done a shit job with Barcelona, not entirely his fault. That club is just a wreck right now.
Yes.
Yeah.
But the Spanish media came out and basically said, yeah, Arteta has already told Arsenal that he's leaving at the end of the season and he's pipped for the Barcelona job. But then Sky Sports came out and said, no, this is entirely not true. Personally, I trust Sky over any of the Spanish media sources because they do this. They do this with City all the time, where there's some player linked to Barcelona or linked to Real Madrid, and it's like it's
That
it's
that
rarely true.
Just using the
that's
name.
that's actually going to be the subject of our next FA Cup Man episode. So stay tuned for that.
Sergio
Um,
Gomez off to Barcelona
Yeah,
or
no,
Girona. Sorry, Girona.
no, he has a nemesis, and it's Fabrizio Famano.
Oh yeah, Rovizio
Eh,
Famano. That's right.
Yeah, Fabrizio Famano, not Fabrizio
Yeah, yeah,
Romano.
yeah, yeah.
Fabrizio Famano, right? Just in case of copyright issues. But
Yeah.
what you just said is going to be the subject of our next podcast.
I'm teasing it here now.
Yeah, teasing it here now. Next episode.
I'll
But
make note of that. I'll clip that for you.
yeah, so but I mean, yeah, I mean, the state of the title race right now. I mean, I would say, I mean, Liverpool's obviously top the league right now. And I don't count them out of the race. I do think the Klopp news is a little bit interesting, and it could go either way, like where it could galvanize them or whatever with their squad. I know they're missing a few key players because of the African Cup of Nations and some injuries. Now that Trent Alexander-Arnold's out. But I mean, I as I said with City, there's the very bright light at the end of the tunnel, but we're not out of the woods yet. We're not like, I think the last two games we had for two not so good first half performances, and then we had to have KDB come in and save us. And I think that might be the theme of the rest of
Yeah.
the season, where it's just like the first half is kind of shaky, we can't do anything, and then we just put KDB on, he just takes it by the balls and propels us to victory, and that's how we win the league, I guess. Like that would be crazy.
No,
But crazy cool, but crazy in a sense, like that could be the case, really. But like, I'm very confident in the way City's looking at this point of the season, heading into where we are. We haven't played a lot of football this month. We're at a near clean bill of health. Like we almost have all of our
Yeah.
players back, including John Stones and Akanji.
That's huge. That's massive.
And the run of games, like it's not until like March maybe March when we start hitting all of our top 6 opponents. Like, so we start playing Liverpool, Man United, Spurs. Like, I think March is where we play more or less the top 6, and then we go on a run of games of mid-table teams till the end of the season. So I'm very confident where City are positioned. Liverpool, I think, will be galvanized till the end to get this win for Klopp and send him off. Personally, I think Klopp wants to go coach the German national team, but he said that he's going to wait a year before he makes that decision. So, yeah, I think it's interesting. I have narrowed it down though. It's Liverpool or City this time. And I'm still confident that City will get the 4th Premier League title back to back. And double trebles on, baby.
Say
I
it
remember
with chest.
double trouble, maybe. But last year we were superstitious about it, so we were referring to the trouble as a
That's
thingy.
true.
Oh,
It was
thingy
the
one.
thing. We don't talk about it. Yeah.
Yeah, and we don't talk about it because being a former baseball player. But double trouble, I have no problem saying it with chest now. I mean, yeah, just I think it's very much on. I mean, we're on to the next round of the FA Cup. We're second place in the league, only trailed by like 2 or 3 points, or is it 5 points? I forget.
Yeah.
And then
5 points.
5 points. Okay, and then Champions League, we play Copenhagen in the knockout round. And we should move past them with ease to the next round, and we'll see who we get in the quarterfinal and
Champions League,
round
I'm most
16.
confident about.
Yeah. And I just don't see any of the European teams right now looking that hot. I mean, Bayern Munich, I think, is the hottest team right now.
They're struggling.
They're struggling. Barcelona's struggling. PSG is a mess, and
Madrid too.
Madrid is I mean, they look sharp at some points, but then obviously they lost the Copa del Rey to Atleti,
Yeah.
and and then they they lost to another team.
They played Las Palmas this morning and they were losing from what I saw. But I don't
Okay.
know what the results were.
Okay,
Yeah.
and then but yeah, I mean, I've said enough, but what do you think about that, Patrick?
So I agree with you that I think things look very good on paper right now for us
Mhm.
to go on and win the Premier League for the 4th time. So I 100% agree. I think we're in a very good position with Haaland coming back. Stones being back. I think the only person we're really missing, should Holland come back at Burnley, is Akanji, which, okay, we can fill in the gaps there. But I think there's way more banana skins than we're letting on. For example, we have to play Brentford still twice.
Yeah.
And I think those Brentford games, if we get through those, I'll be a lot more confident. But I'm just really concerned. I think it's from last season because we didn't beat them at all last season. To be fair, one of the games was at the end of the season and it didn't really matter. We had already, clinched the title. But I think those two Brentford games are ones to look out for that are going to be sleepers and going to be a lot tougher than we think because with Ivan Toney back and the way they
Yep.
play, they always give us trouble because they play that counter-attacking game. Everton, that's a win. Burnley's a win. Chelsea's a win. And then Bournemouth should be a win. I know they're on a hot streak right now.
Yeah, them too.
But then the other thing you got to think about, excuse me, is I know we just beat Spurs and we broke the curse, but we got to go back there in April and do it again.
Yeah, and that's why the FA Cup match was
So
crucial. That we
important,
got
yeah.
that break this, and then we go there, and then that bad juju is not lingering over us when we go into that game as well. And we came back to this point earlier in the podcast about how City have actually not played that well against the top 6 teams. The only team I believe that we beat in the top 6 was Man United. We beat Man
Yeah.
United 3-0. But
Well,
I
they're
think
not a top 6 team. They're a mid-table team. Let's be honest.
oh yeah, it's true. But in the
Shit team.
yeah, yeah, fuck them. But
Yeah, there you go.
Old Trafford's falling down. Da, 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 da. Ten Hag is a fucking clown. Da, 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 da. Glazers stay for 10 more years. Da, 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 da. Man City is on the beers. Da, 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 da.
all right, yeah. But to recall back our other performances, we drew Chelsea 3-3. We drew Liverpool 1-1. We
That's right.
That
lost.
was a
No, we
silly
drew
1-1.
we drew Spurs 3-3. And
Mhm.
then what was the other team? Arsenal. We lost to Arsenal 1-0, I
Mhm.
believe.
That's what
So
Rodgers was about. Rich, really, we
yeah,
should have won that game. I
yeah,
mean, that's the
yeah,
game that
and
told me Arsenal wasn't serious because, like, they should have ran over us and they didn't.
Yeah.
I mean, Arsenal have obviously been bottling it again this year, even harder than they did last year.
Yep.
And so I'm confident, but it's been narrowed to a 2-horse race. I do see it's a City Liverpool once again, City pool title race.
Yeah.
And this is going to be a bittersweet moment because in the past I fucking hated Liverpool and their fans
Mhm.
and Jurgen Klopp, but there's a little bit more sentimentality now with Klopp leaving, and that it did galvanize and drive some of the best football I've watched in those years that it was City Pool, you know what I mean, from like 2016 to to now. So I can't help but not just feel a little bit sentimental for Klopp, you know what I mean, like it was a he was a foil, you know what I mean, someone that we duel
He's a
we
real
sparred
bastard,
against.
though. I don't like him.
I don't like his style of football either. I think he does run players into the ground, and you do see that the reason why Liverpool wasn't able to win it in those years is because they
He's a
have an
little
injury.
bitch when he loses, too.
Well, yeah, but he creates his own injury crisis at the business end of the season, which is why they didn't go on the win like more than once when they did. And you remember they won during the pandemic season,
Mhm.
right? So they had like these injury. His style of play fed into this injury crisis at the business end of the season, which propelled City to victory. And then there was also there was a few years. I mean, City ran away with it. Like remember that one year when we won it like by like 25 points.
It was the
Yeah.
You know
best.
what I mean?
I wanted to
Yeah.
do that this year.
Undefeated.
Yeah. And then we had the Centurion season and
Undefeated too.
and then so like
No, Liverpool was one of the teams that beat us that season. I think they were the only
Oh
team to beat
yeah,
us
that's
that
right.
season.
Yeah, and they beat us bad, dude. That
yeah, I mean
was a fucking horrible loss.
going away to Anfield is always hard to do. That's another thing for City. Going away to Anfield is a hard place to win. But but that's another
gotta
thing.
do.
But yeah. So yeah, I mean, sayonara to Klopp, but it just make I'm just kind of more now looking ahead to the next season, how it's going to look like for next season. I think that's going to be pretty interesting as well. And knowing that maybe Liverpool and Arsenal are going to have a new head coach is definitely going to make the situation different for sure, and also help City for next season as well. So,
Well, and when we'll
but
sign Paqueta in the summer, and things will just be great.
yeah, but who? I mean, a lot of the social media right now, a lot of Twitter conversation right now is like, because Klopp announced his, that he's moving on, and the Pep moving on begs the question too, like who's going to replace Pep, and I personally don't want to think about it right now because it's like 2 years away and you don't know what the picture is going to look like after next season. So this season, then next season, what's going to be like after season, who's going to be available, who's going to be a suitable replacement. And like, I mean, for Liverpool, I do think there's a pretty clear cut choice. I mean, I think they're going to go with Xabi Alonso
Hell
as
yeah.
as their
I
next
think so. I think
coach.
that's a great
And
choice too.
Xabi is a former Liverpool player, and he seems like he has, a tactical philosophy that's, a new innovation that's like propelling him to victory. So obviously, I think that's the next successor to Klopp is Xabi. But right now, I don't think there's an immediate replacement you can identify for Pep that's kind of plays Pep style football. I do see that we're going to get Vincent Company eventually as the coach, but that's
Yeah.
maybe like 10 years down the line. You know what I mean? Like,
Company has clearly showed he's not ready for the Premier League yet, and that's okay.
yeah.
That's okay.
Well, I mean,
I
yeah,
I'm concerned. Like, I agree with you. I think Company's going to be the head coach eventually, but I'm concerned about it because I really do think it's going to be like a Xavi at Barcelona, or uh shoot, who else?
Rafa Marquez.
Yeah, like you just see it too many times. Where or Arteta's a good example. Like a former player going to his club where he's been successful and then is not successful as a manager. I just don't like seeing that. I'd rather them stay. You were a very successful player, and that's good enough.
Stevie G was offered the job, and he said, "I haven't proven myself enough to take over the reins of what is Liverpool, so
Yeah.
I'll pass on the job." Which
Well,
is a smart move, dude.
whoever comes in there is going to have a tough job because all of their players are going to go. Like, I think there's going to be not all of them. They'll retain a core squad and still be a decent side, but I do think with Klopp leaving, similar to Pep, we're going to see people move on because it's just it's time.
Mhm.
yeah. I mean, as long as we don't like, I mean, like, dare I put this out into the ether? Like, if it creates this kind of similar vacuum that Ferguson did for Man United,
Well, look, I
um,
mean, when Pep
Yeah.
leaves, like you gotta we all need to accept that once Pep leaves, we're probably not gonna win the title year after year after
We have to
year.
fend for ourselves.
Like
yeah,
that's like what has happened, and that's why I agree with you. I don't like talking about it because
Yeah, me neither, dude.
I'm trying to enjoy the moment where look, I've got KDB for another couple years. Who
Yeah.
the question I want to ask to you guys, the whole panel here is he the greatest midfielder ever to play in the Premier League?
Fuck yeah, dude. No
oh, without a
question.
doubt, without a doubt. Oh, but the one joke I wanted to make was, I just fear the moment where we all of our content starts becoming what's it,
Mark
bad
Goldbridge.
reaction content, like
Yeah,
Arsenal
Us
fan
raging
TV.
out.
We become
never.
a Banter club.
Oh, fuck off.
Oh, fuck off. You know,
There you go.
do I think
I
KDB?
already had a moment like this on this show when we threw it away against, was it Palace, George, that I came on here?
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
And I
It
was
was
just
great.
livid.
He fucking
I
just
was
ranted for a little bit.
livid. For 30 minutes, I just went off on everybody and everything. I was pissed.
Dude, I was able
I
to put
mean,
myself on mute and check. I'm gonna go to the bathroom and all that shit. And while he was still talking,
Yeah. I was just
oh,
talking to the world.
oh, and I was listening to the old episode of yours guys when we were on the podcast, and I noticed that when you bleep out cusses, it kind of cuts out a little bit.
Oh yeah.
Uh,
I did see
and
that too.
and it was funny because it happened to Will like all the time, and then it sometimes happened
Yeah.
to me. But then, like, I felt the same. I was raging hard at the Crystal Palace match. We were in person live reacting for that, and like that was a frustrating match. That should have been a dub, but but City were in that really poor run of form. I think that kicked off the poor run of form. That game was like the first match, but yeah, I mean, I feel the same on that. But anyhow, KDB being the best player of all time, midfielder of all time, yes, without a doubt, and
at least in the Premier League.
He took over Sergio Aguero's spot. Remember how
the greatest City player ever?
Yes,
Yeah, I guess it's a two-part question.
Kevin De Bruyne
Is he the
now.
greatest City player ever, and is he the greatest player to play in the Premier League?
both,
maybe bar Thierry Henry is where I land.
No,
I think Thierry. I'll say it with chest. He's better than Thierry Henry. Like he's above Thierry Henry for me.
I mean, I think the thing that puts KDB over Aguero in the conversation of who's the best City player of all time is that he was there for the treble, and he really facilitated the treble. Aguero is, I mean, probably our most prolific goal scorer for sure.
Like the first title, EPL title.
Yeah.
EPL title 93-20 is definitely now a moment in our French and this team. It just that'll live on forever. But like KDB, I think we're gonna see probably, hopefully, but I think the two best years of KDB we've seen KDB. In these next 2 years of this, and I do think he's going to extend his contract.
Oh, I do too.
And
I think it's already done.
Yeah, and so I'll be living for that, seeing KDB for the few years, and like you do see players that have had pretty good mid-30 careers, like Ronaldo had a pretty good mid-30s. Yaya Toure had a pretty good mid-30s, you know what I mean? And like KDB and Modric was still balling out, in his mid-30s. So like there's no reason why KDB can't be doing the same. And I'm living for it. You know what I mean? I hopefully it does come true. We've already seen it. He has an instant effect on the squad. So,
God, yeah.
So
I honestly think he ends his career at City. I really do.
Yep.
I really do.
Yep.
Or if it's not that, it's like he plays he does like a Fernandinho and he plays 2 years somewhere, like he goes back to Genk or something and just, is there to help the squad out. But I don't see him going into coaching or anything like that. I think he ends his career at City, and he's the greatest
amazing coach,
Premier League player that I've ever seen.
Yes, I agree.
But I haven't brought Will into I feel like it's been mostly me and Alex this episode, so I did want to bring Will into the conversation. And kind of go all the way back to the Spurs match, because I saw your rant. He went on this rant where he's pissed at Kovacic because he just doesn't know what he does in the squad.
Oh yeah, I gotta love.
But I want to talk about it because I honestly think Kovacic, while he went through, I thought about it because I was mad at him too. I was like, in my rant after the Crystal Palace thing, I was like, he's useless. He doesn't do shit.
Yeah.
But then I look back at it and it's like the whole team was not doing shit for that time.
Yeah.
So after the performance against Newcastle, and now after this performance against Spurs, where I think he was arguably one of our, if not the best players, how's your opinion on Kovacic changing? Because I think he's coming into form. He's doing really well. He's doing exactly what he needs to. Is he going to score goals or make those killer passes? No. I wish he would.
Hell no.
And I agree. I think Nunez is more exciting. But are you turning around on him a little bit? Where do you think it goes from here?
He looked a little bit more active on this one against the Spurs. Because in this one, I was like, okay, he's moving the ball, he's driving up, he's not giving it up, he's not hitting the ground and letting the defense like deal with his mistakes. You know what I mean? So in this one, he looked decent, but you got to show me a lot more, buddy.
What do you need to see from Kovacic?
I need to see some Rodri-like fucking plays if you're gonna play that position, especially if you're in front of Rodri.
Like goals and stuff?
Like goals, like movement, like fucking special fucking moments. Come on, that's why Rodri shines so much. He's a defender.
I don't think you're ever gonna see that from Kovacic. He's just not that player.
And that's why I have my reactions, buddy. That's why I have my reactions, and people are like, oh, no, you just got to give it. Oh, yeah. I'm like, dude, I'm still seeing Kovacic from Chelsea, bro. And that's no shade on George, but I'm just saying it's the same player.
That is shit on Schwartz,
Just-
actually. But
Well, yeah, it's gonna be the same player. He's in his mid-30s. Like he's not gonna learn anything new.
That's
But
not
I
bad.
think you have to look at it as complementary to Rodri to get Rodri more forward, so he can have more moments like we love to see: thunder bastard goals, crazy balls over the top, and winning us the Champions League.
Yeah.
Kovacic's 29.
Okay.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah.
Hey, but with
Uh,
KDB back, we're not going to be seeing much of him. I'll say
No,
that.
I think we still will. I think we still will, like we saw against
Wow.
Spurs to block the counterattack.
Hmm.
So as I pointed out in that same clip that you mentioned, Patrick, I do draw the distinction that he is a holding midfielder,
Yeah.
and that's the kind of Chelsea player that's still in him, is that holding midfielder. I do think he just needs to pass the ball more, and I do agree. He needs to see some more special passes, like an assist, or
Give me a
maybe
highlight,
a
dude.
goal. Give me to kind of like
Okay, watch the Spurs match. There's your highlight reel.
Okay.
no,
Okay.
I do agree that I did not have any complaints about Kovacic in that match. Like
Yeah,
I
me neither,
did not,
dude.
I had no complaints about him. I wasn't like that. He wasn't going to get any negativity in that game. But but like how we manage KDB's minutes, and is he still going to be very much a second half guy, as we've already seen. And I definitely will be starting Kovacic in the first half, and then we'll be having that might be the thing. It's like we might have a shaky first half, or a first half that's not really that good, and then the second part will be KDB coming on and kind of mopping up the pieces, or start trying to create something. You know what I mean? So if I already have 2 games in hand to see that kind of trend, like where we don't have a really good first half, or do nothing in the first half, and then KDB comes on and he like gives everyone the answers. So I just think we got to give him time to adjust the squad. This is his first year. Grealish didn't have a good first year when he was in the
That's
squad,
true.
and then came out
Very
and started
true.
balling out. And then Kovacic might be going through that same learning curve, that same learning phase. And then maybe he'll break his old Chelsea patterns and then become more of a City midfielder. So anyhow, Chelsea. What about them? I don't know. Moving on.
I think there's signs of hope with this Spurs result, especially because I thought he was gliding through midfield.
He
Some of
was.
his does he need to find the killer pass? Sure, but I don't know if he ever finds that or not. But him gliding through midfield and kind of being a holding midfielder, so Rodri can get forward, or maybe KDB can get forward in front of him. That's what we need Kovacic to do right now. And if he's doing that, I'm gonna be happy with it. It's kind of one of those players that's like, okay, is he gonna light up the highlight reel? No, but I don't think he's ever was brought in to be a player to light up the highlight reel.
That's why.
Bernardo Silva doesn't light up the highlight reel all the time, but he's a special player, and we know that.
Yes. But with the whole band back, we're talking. This is my top offense is going to be Jackie, Haaland, Bernardo, and then put Phil Foden back where he's supposed to be, and Kevin De Bruyne. That's what
You
I
don't
want
like
to see.
Foden in the middle?
That's exactly what I said.
Oh, okay, we're
Play
supposed to be.
Foden
Got it,
centrally.
Yeah, instead of Kovacic.
Sorry.
Yeah. Hey, you're
Oh,
forgiven,
you
dude.
go Foden, KDB, Rodri in like your diamond.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And do you agree?
Yeah, I mean, look, in a perfect world, I play KDB and Foden together 100%.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing, and then I have John Stone step up into the middle to support Rodri,
And he does that a
assuming
lot,
he's
dude.
fit. Assuming he's fit. The only thing that I go back and forth on is that left wing position. It depends on the game for me. Like honestly, I think the left wing position is where we're the most lucky this season because I really do think it really is. Put any one of them in, and I'm going to be happy. Whether Doku,
Yeah.
Grealish, or now Bob, you can put
Yeah.
any one of them in, and I'm cool.
I like Grealish still because he's very much a player that tracks back and can create fouls and stop the play and get us
Yeah.
back into shape. Doku needs to learn a little bit more of that.
Agreed.
Doku needs to make a little bit more better chances or better choices on the ball. Like he just sometimes just tries to juke people out too much and like tries to take a shot, and this is a terrible XG shot. You know what I mean? And then Oscar Bob is, I think, is very much a second half guy for me. Like, put him on in the second half, and obviously watch him score a go ahead goal. You know what I mean? Like, that's someone. That's how I would take that position. But I mean, you'll see obviously Doku and Grealish switch off. Uh, but I'm still very much a Grealish guy myself. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
that's who I favor in that position. But as I said, we're already going to see him trade off every other game, maybe. So
Yeah.
Definitely.
I just wanted to point something out before we continue. With the rest of the season and the confidence that I have, what's going on. Um, we had Haaland out for a while. We had Kevin De Bruyne out for a while, and some other players too. That kind of made us start using the bench, and
Mm,
the bench is starting to get a little hot now because we did concede a couple of good results with that. And now that the whole ban is back and we're on the second half of the EPL and the UCL coming back, a lot of these guys are ready now. You know what
yeah,
I
that's a
mean?
good
A
point.
lot of these guys are fucking ready now. And so when we put on our starting 11, which is Halan and Kevin De Bruyne, that bromance is gonna fucking light up on fire once they connect. Once they're back together again, you're gonna fucking see the difference, dude. And the thing is that Kevin's doing it with Oscar Bob, dude. Kevin's
I
doing
know.
it. You
Oh,
know
I
what I
know.
mean? So all these, we're all gaining that chemistry again. So now we have a solid two squads for the fucking four. What is it? We're in four tournaments right now, right? Or is
three
it three?
No,
tournaments.
just 3.
Three.
We're
So
out
the
of the we threw the Carabao Cup because of the
that's
Club
right.
World Cup.
That's right. So with three tournaments, we have two squads, and that's fucking perfect right now, dude. And we have a lot of defense to work with, and we still have yet to see FA Cup, man. But hopefully it comes out soon. You know what I mean? Hopefully, dude. We save them for special occasions.
Well, when
But
we're 5-0 up against Copenhagen, maybe we can throw him on.
And
exactly.
no, he'll have all the 5 goals. So replace Rose, and he'll have 5 goals.
And an
Like
own
like
goal. And an own
and
goal.
in the 69th minute. Uh,
Giggity.
but you know what? In defense of FA Cup, man, Sergio Gomez. I'm glad that we're doing this FA Cup man thing because I feel like Sergio Gomez is becoming the most peripheral figure in the squad now.
Yeah.
And it's kind of it's kind of bad because when he does play, he actually is a very cool player to watch. Like
Yeah.
he can, like, the thing about him is that he plays both left back and left wing, so you can play like on the attacking up in the
He's a
attacking
left
part, right?
winger, dude. He's not a left back. He's a left winger.
Well,
Yeah.
he gets to
Yeah.
play as a left back.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he pushes up obviously, but he does look very aggressive and very threatening, and I haven't seen too much of him, but like the fact that we're giving him a little bit of the light, you know what I mean? Whether it's obviously it's a huge shit post, right, about him being a very peripheral player, but like just the fact that we have that someone's giving him a light, him, because otherwise
Yeah.
he'd just be a
You're
peripheral
taking
player.
that torch and running with it, huh?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I mean it's not like that. Like we just dropped
Take
the
a
episode
shot.
today, and
No, I was
and like
watching that. It was funny.
people were like, More FA Cup, man, please." And I'm like, all right, you know what I mean? Like I'm like literally writing like I would like write like a TV show. Like I'm literally like
Yes.
planning out episodes and like the arc of it, and like, you know what I mean? And like but the only thing is, like, I mean, we're at the end of the window. Hopefully there's no last minute deal where he goes away, because that would kill off the whole series. But like I think he's going to stay, and we'll get a good nice run of FA Cup man this spring. But like, yeah, I mean, it's going good, the podcast and whatnot. But we actually have some updates we wanted to drop on you guys. That
Oh, that's
Yeah.
right.
stuff, some updates that we want to have. So if you're paying attention to our stories, we had a special announcement planned. The special announcement is that we're dropping merch tomorrow. We're dropping
Hell
our
yeah,
first
bro.
merch line, and I won't talk about what the okay. So what I'll say is it's 3 t-shirts, and they're all kind of references from the show, and it's a conglomeration of all the ideas from all the 3 of us, Will, myself, and Ipkiss, and onto 3 shirts. So it's 3 shirts, and then 2 stickers. Or I'll promote this on T Public. You can do a lot of different things, a lot of different products and whatnot you can choose. But like really, like it's like three t-shirts, 2 stickers, and the stickers are related to the shirt. But like it's gonna be fire, dude. Like hilarious, but they're also related to the show.
Where they gonna find? Where can they
And Man
find this?
City. And Man
Yeah,
City.
dude. I think this is the perfect time to plug in your stuff, dude, so we can figure this out, man.
Yeah.
So you can follow us at Hollywood Kippax. Kippax spelled Kippax across all social media platforms: YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and IG. And
He almost forgot the IG one, even though that's the biggest one he's got.
We live on IG, and
Yes,
we have a link tree now in our bio, and
Oh yeah.
it's on T Public, so TEE Public, and it's dropping tomorrow, and we'll be tagging you guys up. But I'm serious, guys, it's gonna be good. It's like
Oh, yeah.
you're gonna laugh your ass off first, ha ha ha, and then buy one. So
Well, you can already sign me up.
I've
get
seen the
one for you guys.
mock-ups, and I gotta say that I'm impressed with some of the stuff that we came up with.
Dude, that
Yeah.
is badass, and congratulations, man, you and Will, man. That's a great accomplishment. So
Thanks,
you know,
G. Yes,
I'll be
sir.
looking forward to that. So I'll be good.
Yeah.
That's cool,
Thanks
man.
for choosing our show to drop that bomb.
Hey, man.
Well, I mean, it's only natural, and you guys,
We love you guys, dude.
us. We love
I
you.
know, we love you
You support
too.
us.
You're
But
our favorites. I'm saying it
yeah,
here.
nice. But one podcast I do want to shout out right now, and I think everyone should be watching them right now. It's Snobby Pod.
Yeah?
It's Colby from Snobby Pod. I'm not sure if you guys have been tracking Snobby Pod, but Snobby Pod's been in it with the United States Man City podcast ecosystem.
Yeah, they're from DC, aren't they? Aren't they from the East
Yeah,
Coast?
they're from DC, and the main person's Colby, and I've been talking to him lately. But just recently, I think he's been stepping up his game, and like how we've been doing it, and like I've been taking notes. I'm like, oh, dude, this. I like the things I'm seeing from him.
Yeah.
And he does have a lot of good things to say about Man City, like a lot of good takes. So definitely follow Snobby Pod and all on other socials and see what they're doing. And we're trying to get them on our podcast. So we do have very high aspirations for this podcast. And one thing also, another update that I forgot to mention is that Will and I are going to start doing in-person podcasts.
Yeah,
So,
a lot more.
a lot more, hopefully here on a weekly basis, and kind of doing like an in-person episode. We have our lockout space, which belongs to our friend Ipkiss, our third podcast, but
Prodigal
we're gonna
Son.
be the Prodigal Son.
Yes.
And we're gonna be on Monday nights is what we're identifying. We're gonna be doing an in-person podcast, and that's how we do it in person. Like just do it in person. So so that I hopefully will start moving the needle in terms of that. Also, our kit giveaway is going to be announced on February 1st. I do know that I think George or both of you guys are in that kit giveaway.
Man,
Patrick,
you throw me on the bus, dude.
No, well, I'm just
top secret, dude.
Secretly.
Nice.
But just as a reminder, it's going to be announced on February 1st, and then for next month, we're doing it again and adding some things, our merch and something similar to this behind us.
Yes.
And but it's going to be for our YouTube followers. So if you to order enter, you need to subscribe to our YouTube.
Yeah.
So that's just looking ahead to February. But I mean, we're looking ahead. We're looking to grow and looking to do the things necessary to reach as many City fans as possible, if the algorithm lets us. So I think that's been the big obstacle. You know what I mean? Like it's like, come on, man, how does FA Cup man not have 1 million views? That FA Cup man needs 1 million views. Like I've seen some shit on
everybody
Instagram
right
go for
now,
the
go give FA Cup man a like. It needs 1 million views.
We need to reach.
Yeah.
We're gonna make sure it reaches Gomez so he sheds a tear when he sees it.
Oh man, he's probably gonna be like, what the fuck?
Like, wow, someone actually cares.
But I mean, yeah. So that's just how I feel about it. But other than that, we gotta be grateful. We hit two milestones, and things are going good, and we'll bring you along with us every step of the way.
Let's go.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's fucking awesome. That's good stuff, dude. About your merch, FA Cup man, new merch on YouTube.
Yeah, man. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We gotta show everybody what the beauty of what this team is, And like I said, with the homie that was brand new to the game, and we showed him that beautiful game against
Oh yeah, the
Newcastle.
reaction one, right?
He was, oh man, that reaction video got, that shit was that was a hitter right there. And you could see, come on, I'm pretty sure you reacted the same way, right, Pat?
Oh my god,
You know what I
I was
mean?
going wild in the house.
It's a beautiful feeling,
I
dude.
was
And
going
it's,
wild.
That's the one where KDB to Bob. Is that
yeah,
the, is that the
Yeah.
reaction one?
yeah,
Yes.
That was
yeah.
a fucking.
That's what this team does, man. That's what KDB does. And that's where I was like, he's the greatest in the Premier League. It was
Yes,
that moment where I was like, yeah,
that's
he
the
came
guy.
on and changed it. And how many times has he done that? Like Alex, you mentioned
Exactly.
him going in the, he was critical for the treble success. And rival fans who, just are trying to find some topic to talk about, were like, well, yeah, he just, he needs to actually perform in a final. Okay, I'll give you, like, he got his face bashed in the first Champions League final we were in, and then the second Champions League final, his hamstrings blew.
Yeah,
What the hell do you want him to do? But the
yeah,
biggest thing that they miss in that conversation is that goal at the Bernabeu that he scored
yeah.
to draw the game, and we brought it back to the Etihad and then smacked him up.
Oh,
That
against Courtois. That's right.
that is what KDB does
Yeah.
time and 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 time again.
And it's
It-
so dumb when they say it about Halan. Oh, it needs to perform in the final. Brother, look at the titles. Look at the
Dude,
record. Shut the hell up, dude.
we
You
all
know what I
know he
mean?
should have gotten the Ballon d'Or.
So dumb, dude. You know what I mean?
Oh man,
So
don't get me
yeah,
started
No, fuck
on
that.
the amount of snubs that happened in that award season of
Yeah.
just like, you know what I mean? And I don't even, but like I've said this, my take on that is that those legacy organizations of football and the media have always resented city players being in the best of conversations.
yeah.
And like and
That's the only
this year,
reason FFP exists, is to keep us out of the conversation.
Hmm.
No
yeah,
one talks
and
about that.
yeah, and like you see how many players of City were in that Ballon d'Or conversation, like down the line, you know what I mean? And
Yep.
like, and then like I know that the legacy orgs, what I call them, uh they were gristling at Man City players being in it. And and like that, was it best 11 or FIFA men's best player? Like they had to give it to Messi in order to sell video games. You know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
it wouldn't have sold as many video games or whatever if Haaland was in it. Although
Yeah.
like
He's
I
on the
do
cover
see,
of
yeah,
FC24.
Oh,
and
Haaland is, yeah.
yeah, but like I don't know, you're just gonna sell more units or more Messi shirts or whatever with giving it to Messi than you would with Haaland. So but I do see a tide turning. I mean, like the conversation is becoming more Haaland or Mbappe, but in my opinion, it's definitely Haaland at this point. You know what I mean?
Unless
Yeah.
Like,
Mbappe goes this year to Real Madrid, he's out of the conversation. He's
Yeah, he's
never
yeah,
gonna
falling
be in
down.
that
He's falling
conversation at
off.
PSG. He can't. Like,
Yeah.
that
yeah,
league's fucking bullshit. But he's already the star child for FIFA because he's got his World Cup under his belt, which is ridiculous because Holland is never going to win a World Cup. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, Norway is just not going to win a World Cup. So,
Yeah.
like, that's why to me, that's why that decision is silly when it comes to the Ballon d'Or.
yeah.
Broke a fucking record that stood for 20 years and is not going to get broken again for probably another 20 years.
I
Preach
think
on,
he's.
brother. Preach on.
I mean, he had the best individual season of a player of all time. You know what I mean? Like, just
It just sets a precedent. It sets a precedent that's wrong, where you
yeah,
can be literally the best player in a year, and we're not going to give you a Ballon d'Or because of a 4-week period. Don't
Of
get
a
me wrong.
household name.
Don't get me wrong. We had this conversation last time. I love Messi. I'm glad he got his World Cup. I was
Yeah.
I was screaming for him as he's the greatest. He truly is the greatest of all time.
Yeah.
But he didn't need that, what, eighth Ballon d'Or?
Yeah.
no, he didn't need it. He didn't need it. He already had enough.
Didn't earn it.
And like yeah, and he's a household name, and FIFA has their darlings, and now Mbappe is a FIFA darling, and Haaland is not, and he will play for City, and there will be this sort of villainizing of City players with in the media and legacy organizations because we're just that such a good team. You know what I mean? Like we're
We're those
the
guys,
greatest.
dude.
We don't
We're the
have the
greatest.
correct owners.
Yeah, we don't have the correct owners, and we're the best sports team around in any sport right now. You know what I
Yes.
mean? Like any sport. You know what I mean? So, but and people resent that success. So, haters gonna hate, but City fans are the real ones, and we know.
Yep.
Shout out to Citizens.
There
You
we
too,
go.
George. You can come along too.
Yeah,
You
you're
too,
along too.
George.
He's
I'm
just been
coming
along
along.
for he's just been along for this episode, anyways.
I'm
Yeah,
here for the vibes, dude.
There
You
you
have,
go.
you have,
I'm just
he
waiting
has
for
a
my
pa-
moment, dude.
it's like he has dual citizenship or dual passports. You know what I
Pretty
mean?
much,
Like he,
yeah.
he
Damn right,
has,
dude.
he,
Damn
he-
right. But
you
if I
know,
leave the country, I might get deported, dude.
he wants to go back to that shit old Chelsea. You know?
Yeah. We let him hang
Oh,
out in the Etihad a little bit without
Yes.
saying anything.
Oh yeah, he's that guy over there. Just don't ask many questions
Yeah,
around
he's
him.
cool. He's cool. He's with
Yeah.
us.
Like, don't ask him about what's Chelsea's plan. You know what I mean? Or
Yeah.
what's Todd Bailey's plan.
oh,
He doesn't know.
He doesn't know, but
I-
neither does the
I-
rest of the fan base. So
I saw that lit stream question. I was just like, yeah. I mean, to be fair, I don't think any Chelsea fan knows what's in Todd Bailey's mind, but I do know that he wants to Americanize the Premier League and like,
and
you know,
that's scary about how that's
Yeah.
gonna happen. And
It-
you know, me and Patrick and Greg, we have talked about that before. Well,
It takes- it takes away the aspects of the Premier League that I love. You know what I mean? And if it just becomes like watching American sports, it's just gonna be less interesting to me. You know what I mean? Like, and because you see how American sports are and how people talk about American sports and stuff. And like, I just feel like the Premier League has been the most engrossing league I've ever watched, like in terms of just the sport and the
you
tactics.
can just
and the
see it
team.
by the fans there. You
Yeah.
can see it. It's a totally different atmosphere. And I told this to Patrick before that when me and my wife, when we hit our milestone for 10 years of being married, we want to go take a trip to in England to go watch either a Chelsea game or just watch a good game during that probably time frame that we want to go.
Yeah.
Like we were trying to go like during our anniversary, probably like November, maybe December, but I got to check how the weather is because me and Cole don't get along.
it's freezing over there.
Bro, you're
that
gonna.
time of year.
It's yeah. I mean, you
Dude, you
might
gotta
as well
remember, dude, we're from Arizona, dude. We deal with 120 degrees Fahrenheit. So those of you who are Celsius, I went.
I went to England in October of 2019, and it was piss pouring rain, and I, loved every minute of it. You get that English rain does kind of.
It's different. It's
It
different.
hits. It hits
So
different.
it's not like monsoons, Patrick, over here.
No, it's way more steady, and the
yeah.
clouds get way
Romantic.
lower.
Because you gotta remember, the rain over here is a little bit different than California.
The thing about it's much similar to like California rain, where it's kind of nice. But the only thing that you'll run into if you go in December is you might get snow. Number one. Number two is sometimes you get like this misty rain, and that misty rain with the wind is miserable as all hell.
Yeah. And but that's just par for the course. I mean, you're a podcaster of a UK based sports league. You know what I mean?
Got to make the pilgrimage.
You got to make the pilgrimage, and I definitely want to go back. There's been some obstacles in the way though, to go back to Manchester. But I always tell myself next winter, and then because I'm a teacher, so 3 weeks off during winter break is when I can have enough time to go off during the season. So, but I'll be going back here eventually. But just I do want to see Haaland play once at the Etihad. So like while he's still here, because I don't know how long he's going to be really staying. But that's definitely
Didn't your
my goal.
brother just go overseas to go over there?
He went to France. Yeah.
Oh, France. That's what it was.
Oh
Yeah. Cam and his French stuff. He loves his French things. But yeah. So
yeah, that's the plan of what we want to do is go out there and go catch a game. I don't really care who it is. Probably be Chelsea, right? Or shoot, by then I might be a City fan. I might be baptized. Like what?
There you go. There you
Will
go.
does. He's got to baptize me with some Modelo. Just fucking bless me around.
Yeah. You gotta cast it.
Me and
Oh
George.
no.
I'll
But
tell
Will,
you this.
you drink the Fosters, don't you?
Oh yeah, that's right. I'll pour that on
Yeah.
your head. You know what I mean?
Anoint him.
Dude.
That's funny.
One of these times, George and I will make a trip out there, and we'll all do like a collab podcast, and that's when.
Oh my God,
we'll
dude.
bring
We'll do
George
it in a
into the
pub.
fan base.
We got a
Yes,
pub we can do it at. Oh man,
Hell
it's
yeah.
gonna be fucking awesome.
yeah, that'd be sick.
Yeah,
Yeah,
dude.
that'd be
I'm
fucking
sure. I mean, the city
Could just be a
bar that
weekend,
everyone
man.
goes to watch
George,
game.
it could just be a weekend. We could make this happen.
dope. We can.
There
make this
you
happen.
go.
You're already halfway there. I'll just.
You can stay in
park
the
at your house.
studio.
Whoa. Fucking- yeah, dude, I'm halfway there, dude.
There you go. No, but it would be dope because we have the supporter group, Hollywood MCFC out here,
Oh
and
yeah.
we still haven't been out there, Alex. So, and then
No, we
I
haven't.
noticed that some of their fucking people that go there are following us now, and they're
Yeah.
supporting us heavy, dude. So if we show our faces out there, hey, we'll have a nice welcome.
Oh, dude,
Yeah.
you're fucking open tap, dude. No, it's fine.
Oh, I hope
No,
so.
it's not.
That would be nice.
It's not
You heard
that.
it here. George is opening a tab and gonna pay for all of
No,
us.
it's
So-
Yeah, no, George.
how it's gonna be how we're gonna be.
I'm just messing. Don't listen to me.
I'm just looking forward to the day when I'm on the street. It's like, hey, you're from that City podcast, right? That does FA Cup, man. And,
Oh,
Ooh.
you're the
Everything
FA
always
Cup
comes
guy.
back to FA Cup, man.
and you're the FA Cup guy. And
All
I'm
roads
like,
lead to FA Cup, man.
yeah, I really, it's really, I mean, like, I mean, people are responding positively to it, but like, I'm
Yeah.
looking to see where this is going to be at the end of the season. But like, for real, like, people are clamoring for FA Cup, man.
Hey man, when you
And
catch fire, you gotta go with it.
yeah. So yeah, we're riding
Gotta
this
add
thing
that to the merch, dude, next season.
Oh well,
Oh my God, for real?
no, George, you'll see tomorrow. You'll see tomorrow.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
it's gonna be a fucking teaser, dude.
Yeah,
Got me a
so
gun. Oh no, I can't say that here, man.
Yeah, shoot,
all right.
shoot me a link offline to the email I sent to your stuff. I'll get your stuff like
Oh, there you go.
tomorrow once it's live. Or
Yeah.
if I can get it tonight, I'll just get it tonight. But
Well, you
Yeah,
know what?
I'm
Well,
gonna need
no,
one of
no,
those.
I'll send you guys the link now. I mean, it's not live, like officially live,
but
but
you can still purchase. Yeah, just shoot
but
me.
like,
Send it.
but you'll be able to take a look at what it is.
Oh, there you go.
Ahead of everyone else. So
Yeah, let's
This is
hook the
why I-
boys
this
up.
is-
Hook
this is
up the
exactly why-
boys.
This is why I
Yeah.
started the podcast, just to see merch ahead of time. That's the only reason.
Imagine that. It's like, hey, yo, you guys have merch? Can I see
You have
it?
Yeah.
merch? Can I see it?
That's so funny.
That's the first question to every guest. Yo, before we get started, you got merch? Can I see it?
Can you give us the link?
Give us the link. The link to the pre-sale.
That's
pre-sale
funny.
link,
dude.
everyone.
That's fucking awesome,
But
man.
yeah, on these three shirts, I know two of the ideas. One of them was Alex's. One of us was, one that I mentioned, and we came up with these things. And hey, what do you guys think of this? What do you guys think? Oh, I was like, oh my God, that's amazing. But that
So,
third one, I don't know. So I'm excited to see what you have.
do
Oh, you
you guys
did?
have,
Third
you
one.
guys have man sizes, dude? Or you have boy
Well,
sizes?
yeah. I mean, you. How much?
Fucking
How much?
George, I
You've
was
already
so
got your
sincere.
size when you decide to convert
Hey,
to City, so we'll
big
get
That
G,
one
yours
was
dude.
so
for you.
sincere.
Come on, man.
Big.
I need that double extra medium, dude.
We got the big dick shirts
Double
coming through. Don't
extra
trip.
medium. Get fucked.
We got the big dick shirts and we have the small dick shirts. So don't trip. You're gonna get yours.
Damn. Big dick lineup, small dick lineup.
There you go. You already know.
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
dude, just jump for that alley oop, dude.
Yeah, I had to use that one.
No. But no, dude, it's gonna be fire, dude. It's as soon as we get off
As
this,
soon
I'll
as you
send you
hit
guys the
us-
link.
Yeah, you
Hey.
better sing up that link, dude.
Yeah, you guys will be laughing your ass, as I say, laughing your ass off, and then buying one. You're like,
Oh yeah. I already told you I'll buy it.
Buy.
Yeah.
You never, hey,
We
you
gotta
never know,
support
dude.
the
On
homies. I'll buy your
the-
shit.
On the next episode, I might fucking be repping it, dude. You never know.
There you go. There
And
you go.
we're
I
not
think I
compelling you
express shipping,
to. No, we'll pay you to be an influencer. You'll be like, oh, do you have a
Sponsored,
shop?
sponsored by Hollywood Kippax.
You're a Hollywood Kippax influencer.
and what your deal is like,
We're
you'll
part
take
of the street team.
Oh,
you'll
shit, that's
go
so
out to, like,
funny, dude.
you go out to like the Grand Canyon at like sunset, and you're like with your girlfriend, like holding your girlfriend like that, but like you have the Hollywood
Turn
Kippax merch on.
just the right way. Just
Yeah, like that. And it'll be like, get your Hollywood
You're
Kippax
full,
merch today.
Patrick. That show's funny.
FA Cup, with every
Oh,
goal-
you
with every
almost
goal
leaked
moment.
it. You almost leaked
FA
it.
Cup
You almost
capes.
leaked it.
FA Cup capes.
Hey,
There you
FA
go.
Cup man capes.
You're gonna clip that, dude. Clip it out.
Oh man, that's
I
hilarious.
took it back. But no,
Yeah.
it's gonna be fire, dude.
It's going to
And,
be biblical, man.
it's gonna be biblical, man.
Diabolical.
Yeah, dudes. So yeah, that's the big news, and We'll officially announce it tomorrow on Instagram, right?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
we'll be on that.
There we
Yeah.
go. Or we can use this clip and we'll promote that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
And I mean, we got a busy week too. I mean, we got the podcast tomorrow night, and then I have some other
Yeah.
things up my sleeve.
Watch
You
your
know,
shit
but
on camera tomorrow.
yeah, but one thing,
I always got it on.
but I think we were mentioning this before the podcast, but I think we were going to make this episode Nathan Ake appreciation
Oh, that's right.
podcast,
That's right.
but Nathan Ake, wow, I
Oh
mean,
my
the
God,
guy,
most consistent defender for the last 18 months.
and he hasn't been played
Easy.
that much, like as much as I
What
feel
a
like.
guy.
I feel like Diaz and Akanji have had like I think that's perhaps preferred center back pairing right now, but I think Ake needs to be worked into the lineup more. And personally, I prefer him at left back than Gavardiol. Um,
I
that's
don't
just
know. They had different strokes for different
yeah.
folks.
But you see though how he clutches up like all the goals he scored. Because I was making an Ake edit the other day, and I was seeing all the goals he scored from last season and this season.
Oh,
It's all been clutch
headers.
moments. All
Oh
headers,
yeah,
all headers and very clutch moments.
Yeah.
So, like, to be honest, like that's the kind of player you need in your squad right now, especially
I
when
agree.
the title race is as close as it is. Like KDB and Ake in the second half, like that can put us over the top. So, like Ake has always been and seeing him as being left out of the starting 11 as much as he has this season has been like kind of like what the for me, you know what I mean? Just like
Yeah.
no Ake, like we're going with Gavardiol on the on the left again, and Gavardiol sometimes gets targeted like a weak link. You know what I mean? Like some other teams try to get the ball through his channel and stuff. And I mean, I'm not shitting on him completely. He's a young player and he has a lot to learn, and I'm sure he's going to be a great City player for us eventually. But Ake is I'm more confident in Ake playing on
Yeah.
that left side.
Yeah, I mean, I think he needs to be in the lineup more right now as well.
Yeah.
Because he definitely like out and out defender. He's the best we have. I do think Vardiel's a little bit better going forward. But again, he's being asked to do something he's probably never been asked to do as a center back, at least in his professional career. So I give him a lot of. There's a lot of free passes I give Vardiel because his on the ball work is something else for a center back.
I
Yeah.
mean, I do agree with you, but going forward, I mean, I like Ake more because Ake scores goals. You know what I mean? Like
Ake's also had a lot more time to learn how to go forward in a Pep system.
well, yeah, he's older and has had more time than him. So like I'm not gonna like I disagree with you there, but like
So
as I'm saying,
yeah,
like in a conversation about like who do you play? I mean, if this is F Football Manager, I'm playing Ake on the left, and then Gavardio
is
gets
that with
subbed in maybe
Rochdale?
with Rochdale. Yes. Oh my god, dude! And the Rochdale Canal got a reference in the FA Cup Man
Oh
episode,
yeah, that
which
made me laugh.
yeah, and it's funny in that FA Cup Man episode because Sergio Gomez, he instead of flying directly to Manchester, like I'm sure most of those players do, they don't like go. He goes into Heathrow, goes to Euston Station, which is the train station you
Takes
take
the
to go
train
to
up
the
to
north,
Rochdale.
and it takes the Avanti West Coast to
Fucking A, of course
Manchester.
he did.
Gets off at Manchester Piccadilly, and KDB picks him up. That's how he gets to Manchester, and that's how I would love for all City players to go to Manchester. As you take the
Right.
Avanti West Coast, you know what
And
I'm
you spend
saying?
your sign up bonus.
And you spend your signing bonus at the Weatherspoons, which
That made me
what
laugh. Dude.
which Weathers. I'm not sure if you know this, Patrick. If you saw a Weatherspoons in the UK, but Weatherspoons is basically the Applebee's of the UK.
Oh
What,
yeah,
like
I know
eh,
what Weatherspoons is.
With
Weathers
gambling.
Yeah.
there's fruit machines in the Weatherspoons and like gambling machines, and it's funny because like I learned that and because I remember one night I had a fistful of gold pound coins, and they're I think the beers were like like £1.75, and I was just like two Guinness drink, two Guinness drink,
Yes.
and so like it was just a cheap place to drink, and I'm just like, oh man, and I had like a whole like pocket full of gold pound coins just like
That's all
going
you
at it.
need.
And so like, but then I was explained to it by a friend, another UK friend, it's like, you really like basically drinking at Applebee's. And I'm like, that's funny. Like, like, what I mean? Like imagine like some guy who from the UK who's a big Los Angeles Rams fan goes to Los Angeles and like
Goes
posts
to
up at the
Applebee's.
Applebee's and just starts like just pounding
It's gonna
down
be
Bud
heaven to
Light.
him.
Yeah, it's like, oh man, this is so cool.
You got this
drinking
many
at-
TVs around here, mate. Holy shit. That's funny.
Well, let's turn our focus ahead to the games we've got coming up here
Yeah.
and get a little prediction poo in, and maybe lineup prediction and score prediction. So City play Burnley on Wednesday. We're home. Yeah, we're home.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're home. I think that's gonna. Holland's tipped to be back, so if he is, I think that's gonna be like 4-0 to City. Burnley are all over the place right now.
Yeah. And I'm pulling up City's schedule, but I do believe that we did a similar we burned them in a similar way last time. We beat them like 4-1 last time we played them.
I think so.
Pulling up the schedule right now.
The first
three.
game of
But
the season, actually.
Yes, it was the first game of the season.
it was 3-0.
Yep.
And my opinion, you'll be seeing I think this is to be the first game where you see an iteration of our strongest 11. If everyone's back, if everyone's
get-go?
From the get-go, yeah. So I think you'll see Haaland back for sure. You'll see, I think Doku will play on the left. Foden, Silva, Kovacic will start, Rodri in the back, and then you'll see Gvardiol, Akanji's back, Diaz.
I
and
don't
then-
think
and
Akanji's back
Walker.
yet. Is he back?
He was in a similar situation to I forgot what player, but he was like he's almost there, but he wasn't ready for the last match, for the Spurs match.
Got it.
So if not, you'll see Ake again. So you'll be seeing a similar Spurs to what we saw with Spurs, but I think Haaland is back. And then KDB gets subbed on, or I don't. If the game is going well, he's not going to play. So yeah.
I'm
I
saying.
think.
Oh,
Yeah,
go ahead. Go
Will.
ahead.
You go
Go
ahead,
ahead.
Will.
This is gonna be a very small dick team. This is gonna be we're gonna see Julian for sure. Doku, yeah, just because of the performance he had last game, and I agree with Bernardo, Phil Foden, and I don't think we'll put in Kevin De Bruyne on this one, dude, just because of the form that Burnley's in, and I know
And
this
it
is
is
gonna be.
Burnley.
Yeah, it's Burnley, and come on, Haaland maybe in the last 30 minutes of the game. Kevin De Bruyne maybe the same thing. If we shit the bed in the first half, and we'll throw those guys in. But like I said, like I'm telling you guys, we have two fucking squads. You know what I mean? And these guys, the big dicks are not even really contributing. I mean, they are. I mean, Kevin De Bruyne did last two games, but I mean, other than that, the bench players are doing pretty good for the results that we're having. So this is going to be a
Yeah.
small. I say Gavardio, Ruben Diaz, Kyle Walker, and maybe a Kanji, maybe Stones. That's. I'll put a question mark in that position right there. But I'm saying 2-1, dude. 2-1.
2-1. Oh,
City.
okay. I yeah. I think I'm gonna go with Will on this one. I think the back four is gonna remain unchanged from Spurs, so I'll see that. And I agree. I think what we'll see is KDB and Holland on as subs at the same time, just for the home crowd to like get off their feet, that type of thing. Definitely Kovacic, Rodri in the middle, Foden in the middle, Alvarez up front. We'll go Bernardo on the wing, and yeah, I think I can go. I could see Doku starting this. Actually, no. I think Pep is really gonna punish Doku for not tracking back in that Spurs game. So I think we see Grealish starting.
Ooh, nice. Okay. I like
Yeah,
that.
that could be the case. I'm gonna say
And then 4-0. I think I already said that.
Damn, 4-0.
I'm gonna say 4-0 too, yeah.
What?
Burnley
Yeah.
is shit this year, man.
I don't see him getting a goal. Yeah. Those
All
two
right,
getting a goal.
I'm gonna stamp the Hollywood Kippax. I'm changing mine. I'm going with the safe bet 3-1.
The Hollywood
I
Kippax safe bet
yeah,
trademark.
I think Burnley's gonna get one just for the fans. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
don't know.
we are prone to like stupid defensive decisions.
Because I
That's
think
probably a safe
I
bet,
think we might go
actually.
Ortega still on this one.
No, I think Ederson's back. He just had a gash on his leg. Nothing. That's
Yeah.
it.
Hmm. hmm. We gotta watch Inside City. I'll let you know tomorrow.
Yeah.
It's cheaty.
see what's happening. And then we got Everton on the 10th.
That's a win.
That's a win. And it's like 4:30 kickoff, so gear up, Will, for the live stream
Oh
at
fuck!
4:30 in the
Just
morning.
crash at the studio.
We've done it before.
Are you guys gonna pass on the Brentford game, dude?
Oh no, the Brentford game's on a Monday.
Oh,
It's February
what?
5th.
Oh,
So the next so
George
yeah,
can't read a
sorry.
calendar.
I can't read a calendar.
That's good.
Wednesday. Well, it's because the Burnley game's this Wednesday. That's during the day. Monday. Brentford. Away.
Monday one.
It's another Monday one, and then Everton's on a Saturday, and then that following week we have Champions League again, and then the Chelsea game is home, and that's a 9:30 kickoff. So for sure.
Oh,
That's
we'll
gonna be
definitely
for
be
that
on
one.
with George for
Yeah,
that.
we'll
thing.
be live for that one.
Yeah.
I think that Brentford game is going to be really tricky.
Yeah.
I've got a bad feeling about that game. I think it's going to be drop points.
The Ivan Toney effect is real with that team, huh?
Yeah, and that who's their coach? Is it Thomas Frank over there?
For Brentford. Oh shit, I'm not sure.
I think it's
I
Thomas Frank.
I know.
He just
It's,
I just have a very bad feeling about that game.
yeah. But
Yeah,
that
he is
boy,
Thomas Frank.
Espiritu Santos is the new coach for Nottingham.
Yeah.
So, because we've always asked, where the fuck has that guy been?
I think he went off to the Saudi league, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He just brought him back over here to the EPL.
Nottingham
covered-
Forest.
Sorry, go ahead.
They're going to get a 10-point deduction next year, I believe.
Yeah, that's. I mean, that kind of makes sense. You can't just come into the Premier League and spend like they did,
Yeah, but what was I gonna say? So the
and
Brentford
then not
game,
be successful. I should say,
Exactly.
if you're successful.
the Brentford game, I don't necessarily see it being. I think if we don't play a strong 11 against Burnley, we'll play a strong 11 against Brentford, and I see us getting the win in that. I see us getting maybe a 2-1 win, but I see us getting the win.
Type.
If
I think
ain't
that's
that
going to be a 1-1, and we're going to be very upset at the end of it.
yeah, I mean
Just a gut feeling I have. It's just I don't
Plausible.
trust that game.
plausible. I don't disagree with you, but I think I feel a little bit more confident. But yeah, Everton, that's a win.
Mm-hmm.
And it's at home. And then Copenhagen, move past them. Chelsea, move past them. And then
Look at
catch that, George. You catch that, George?
George, like,
Yeah, I don't want to talk about that. We'll win.
Man, I thought you just fucking skipped me, dude. Unbelievable. like a fucking hurdle. God,
No one's
not
jumping over you, George.
Yeah,
Double X medium.
double X medium.
Yes, sir.
Beat you guys. Beat you guys 4-0.
Hell yeah.
there you go. In the first half.
Revenge.
In the first half.
First half. Hold on, hat trick.
Just a bus stop in
Ederson goal.
Fulham. Just
Ederson
a bus
goal.
stop in
With
Fulham.
the Anderson goal, unbelievable, dude. I'll be a fucking Manchester United fan for that.
Sergio Gomez gets his first Premier League start in a long time in this game.
Just for the
And-
lulls against Chelsea.
It's for the lulls. Yeah. Pat will get word that there's a new series called FA Cup Man, and he'll be like,
Gotta pump it up. Pump it up for the likes.
He's now Premier League man, and he plays Sergio Gomez, and Sergio Gomez gets an own goal in the 69th minute. That would be 4-1.
From an Ortega assist.
You guys are fucking wild, dude. You're out of control.
Fucking wild.
You're fucking wild.
That shit's gonna be biblical, man. That's funny. God damn it, dude! This is some great banter right here, man. I love
Hell
this
yeah.
show.
This is Damn.
Quality.
Oh man.
Yeah. Well, that's February for you. Well, yeah, we play Brentford again, and then Bournemouth, Luton Town. Oh yeah, we're back in the FA Cup February 28th, away at Luton.
We got to go to the Kenny again.
Yeah, and then we start March off the Manchester Derby at home. Oh
That's a
man,
win.
that's a win. That's gonna be another 6-1.
Yeah. Doku to rile up Anthony again.
Yeah,
That was
Joko
dope.
on
Dude,
Joko
so
and
happy with that.
Ederson will own Anthony. You know what I mean? Everyone's just gonna take turns owning Anthony. It's like what's it, Roger? You want to get on this? Sure.
That
Own
sounds funny, dog.
Akanji. You want to own Anthony? Sure. Own.
Next.
Fucking juke him out. Fucking
That's-
he'll go
I
out of
would
position on the
pay
left.
To see that. To see Ake just put Anthony on his ass, that would be so funny.
Well,
Yeah.
there's a meme being cooked up now.
There we go.
It's brewing, dude.
It's Ederson owning Anthony. Just fucking coming out of position and fucking follow him. You know what I mean? Juking him out. Fucking right.
Oh my god.
What you got to do is like the thing where Bruno Fernandez like Doku jukes him out and he falls on his ass, and then you like cut it where he's like flying in space, and it's the
Yeah, oh yeah. That's a badass one.
Yeah, I did that for Pep when he was like, when he fell on the floor because of the Tottenham call, like he just like fell down, like he was so bewildered at the call, he fell, and like I did that for him because he fell, and I sent Pep in the space.
That's
but
funny.
I don't think people got it. But like it sent Pep because like obviously he was on the floor and he was like in this weird position. But now that you do it, yeah, that's an old meme though too. So like
Bring it back.
I have an appreciation for old memes like that. I remember when that was like my last year of college, and that was like the meme, and everyone was like laughing at the whole who gets sent. But yeah, that's yeah. I'll get your wish is my command. Everyone tells me, hey, do this meme. Do it like this. Do it
Well,
like
you
that.
don't have the in like I do. See, I get to see the merch before you, and I get to create the memes.
There you
Yeah.
go. See,
Like people are like yeah, like it's like was it I which is forthcoming though, Will, too, because no, Ipkiss requested it that Kyle
Cheddar Bob?
Walker. No, he did Cheddar Bob.
Yeah.
But Kyle Walker and Triple H because he does
Oh,
the water
yeah.
spit.
That's
I have that up my sleeve. All right, that's another preview that you can give.
There you go.
And but everyone hits me up. It's like, hey, can you do like this meme where it's like this and this and this and like and it's like, and I'm like, sure. And I'm like, next day, it's like, oh, it's it's the meme that is extremely requested, and it's just like I'm gonna become like, am I just a meme tool? You know what I mean? I'm just like, you know what I mean? So it's just like,
I enjoy getting the rough drafts. I'm like, hey, you know what? This is a good one. Post that shit. And I'm like, oh yeah, like that shit's funny, dude. But yeah, man. Soccer culture and comedy, guys, gotta love it.
Gotta love it.
Your shit's funny, dude. I
That's
think
how
I think we all agree on that FA Cup, man.
that's how you get to 1 million subs here. You know what I mean? It's through
Just
the
memes,
trying.
just
We're
for the
trying.
memes.
It's for laughs, and soon enough, what we said that we're gonna be like doing like jackass stunts.
Just with Man City kits on and shit.
We'll be pushing shopping carts and stuff like that in the curbs.
Damn, that's funny as hell.
We'll be
Kicking
like,
soccer balls into our fucking nuts and shit.
George, you can take that one. You've already had kids.
There you go. This is the penalty shot.
this is the penalty.
Well, for one final time, boys, where can
Yes.
everybody find your memes? Let's wrap this show up.
All right, so we're Hollywood Kippax, Kippax spelled Kippax. You can follow us across all social media platforms: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. We are dropping merch tomorrow, so stay tuned for that. And I'll just gotta give a shout out to the boys from Bit of Banter, sibling podcast, and we love to see it. You love to see us on here, and we love to see you guys. We'll have you guys on as soon as possible.
Of course.
I'm very confident for the second half of the season, and you know what, just thanks for having us on.
Absolutely.
Yes,
Well, we
sir.
always love having you guys on. This has been just a bit of banter,
Just a
and
bit.
you could, yeah, just a bit. You can find us on Instagram and Twitter under the call sign BitOBanterPod. Make sure you use that hashtag banter on. And as always,
Banter
Alex and
on.
Will,
Yes, sir.
love having you guys on. It's always fun episodes. Thank you guys so much for making time, and we'll be seeing you again very soon.
There
Bye,
you go.
everybody.
All right, cheers.
Banter on,
Till
bitches.
next time, man. Thanks, guys.
Hashtag Banter on.